welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of every recipient of the Medal of Honor. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode is episode number 231. And if this is your first time hearing this podcast, welcome, and please be sure to subscribe wherever it is you're listening to get new episodes every time they come out every Wednesday and Sunday, and please be sure to recommend this podcast to anyone you happen to run into, metaphorically, of course. That's all I ask. If anybody is just pass this information on to somebody else, let them decide if they're going to like it or not. But at least tell them to check it out, and it is family friendly and important to keep these names of all these stories alive for as long as possible. And now, a tale of honor. Joe was born on the 28th of August, 1930, in Denver, Colorado, to a family of Mexican migrant workers. He enlisted in the U.S. Army just prior to the Korean War, and it was his actions during the assault on Hill 171 that would cost him his life and earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, Corporal Joe R Baldonado distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty while serving as an acting machine gunner in 3rd Squad, 2nd Platoon, Company B, 187th Airborne Infantry Regiment during combat operations against an armed enemy in Gangdong, Korea on November 25, 1950. On that morning, the enemy launched a strong attack in an effort to seize the hill occupied by Corporal Baldonado and his company. The platoon had expended most of its ammunition in repelling the enemy attack, and the platoon leader decided to commit his 3rd Squad, with its supply of ammunition, in the defensive action. Since there was no time to dig in because of the proximity of the enemy, who had advanced within 25 yards of the platoon position, Corporal Baldonado emplaced his weapon in an exposed position and delivered a withering stream of fire on the advancing enemy, causing them to fall back in disorder. The enemy then concentrated all their fire on Corporal Baldonado's gun and attempted to knock it out by rushing the position in small groups and hurling hand grenades. Several times, grenades exploded extremely close to Corporal Baldonado, but failed to interrupt his continuous firing. The hostile troops made repeated actions to storm his position and were driven back each time with appalling casualties. The enemy finally withdrew after making a final assault on Corporal Baldonado's position, during which a hand grenade landed near his gun, killing him instantly. Corporal Baldonado's extraordinary heroism and selflessness at the cost of his own life, above and beyond the call of duty, are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. Joe's body was not recovered and is still missing in action. In a ceremony at the White House, Joe's brother, Charles, received his Medal of Honor from President Obama on the 18th of March, 2014. Joe Rodriguez Baldonado has a cenotaph in Arlington National Cemetery, section M.H., grave 644. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor Podcast. Please head on over to talesofhonorpodcast.com for more information, other ways to listen and support the podcast, and please be sure to leave a good rating and a nice review. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrosch. Thanks for listening.